My name's Greg Shondell with Himalaya. Behind me, a Defender 90 we built about 2 years ago for a great local family. We see this one on the road often, which is a constant reminder why it's one of our favorites. Clean, classic, modern in all the right places. Today we're gonna have a look. So the story of this Defender 90 started its life in the military. This was a military vehicle. The client actually sourced this one themselves. Often we handle the entire process, including sourcing the donor vehicle. In scenarios like this, clients can bring the vehicle to us and we can reimagine them from there. They had sourced a vehicle with the original diesel engine, got it back to their home here in South Carolina, and quickly realized it wasn't going to meet their needs as far as drivability and serviceability. So that's where we stepped in. The biggest decision when you looked at this vehicle was going to be color. You know, they wanted to have a fun blue color for here in South Carolina. And we ended up with this beautiful grayish blue. The team nailed it on that one. And it was a full custom color for them and a sharp departure from the military green. This client wanted to really keep the classic aesthetic from an exterior perspective. They wanted to tread that line between classic and modern. We're seeing that as a large trend with a lot of our clients. And this is a great example. Everything's paint matched on the vehicle from a body perspective, and then you'll see the galvanized accents. These go back to 1948 when Land Rover's galvanizing the trim on the body. They carried that on in the 70s and early 80s. We went back to that with this vehicle. So you'll see the use of the galvanized accents, the galvanized front bumper, the heritage grille with the original badge, just a nice touch to pay homage to the original vehicle. All the lights have been upgraded to LEDs for better functionality, still with the classic lenses. So really clean exterior look. We upgraded the suspension, giving it about an inch and a half lift to the vehicle, some larger tires. We went with the Wolf wheel, which is originally a steel wheel for the military, but again, giving a slightly wider stance. We broadened the stance of the axle just slightly, so you'll see this has a slightly broader stance on the road than a stock Defender. One of the biggest visual differences from the original will be the use of the Puma hood. A subtle difference, but really as you start looking at it, gives a nice modern edge to it. So as we mentioned earlier, this vehicle started its life in the military. It had the original diesel engine, the non-turbo version, somewhat uninspiring on the road, had its challenges when you're thinking about drivability and serviceability. We've upgraded all of that. We've gone with a GM package. This particular build has a V6 from GM, 6-speed automatic transmission, upgraded brakes and suspension. Again, we wanted to retain the classic look, so in a lot of ways we wanted to hide all of that as you start walking around the vehicle. Nothing more fun than driving a vintage Land Rover without a top. In the current configuration it is. Originally this would have been a hardtop vehicle. The client chose to convert it to a soft top, which they don't use all that often. But there's a variety of different tops you can interchange with these. There's definitely some versatility there. Obviously we can go with the no top configuration. We can go bikini top, full soft top, full hard top, or even a single cab, which is a really fun setup for the right mission. From an interior perspective, we wanted to continue to tread that line between classic and modern. Certainly wanted an elevated experience. The team did a phenomenal job with a full custom tan interior. Kept it fairly clean. You got the 2 captain seats up front. We did these custom cushions in the rear, give it a little bit sleeker look. Doesn't intrude on the side profile of the vehicle. Still have the functionality with lap belts for all. Currently, capacity on a vehicle like this is 6. Now, as you start looking around the cabin, everything you touch is going to be upgraded, whether it be the billet shift knob on the 6-speed automatic transmission. We carried some leather into the dashboard. There's some functionality with the technology that's integrated. It has our custom center console with our heritage audio package. Always important. We never see any of that. We want quality audio, but we don't want to have it in our face. So that's all going to be Bluetooth connectivity, a small controller on the dashboard, some USB charging ports, but again, keeping it simple, functional. This is a vehicle that's used often here in the Charleston area, and we really wanted to focus on all the things you need. Again, you'll see some subtle touches to the modern. We did upgrade to custom gauges in that beautiful off-white color, but we fit them in the factory bezels. You know, again, wanted to stay close to that Defender look. You know, some of the accents to finish the vehicle off are going to be those beautiful wood accents with the rear wood floor, the steering wheel, and the subtle touches on the side of the center console. So there's a couple different options from a seatbelt perspective on the front side of things. Typically, if there's a roll cage, you would have the ability to have the 3-point harness. Alternative, without the roll cage, you can go to lap belts, or we can add this bracket here to allow for the 3-point harness as well. This Defender 90 has it all. Clean, classic design, staying close to the original soul of the vehicle. Modern drivetrain for drivability and serviceability, an intentional design throughout the entire vehicle. Simple in a lot of ways, but just perfect.